story of how we were able to recover the remains of Philomena.
My devotion to Philomena, Saint Philomena, over here, started many years ago. I met a mystic who the Philomena had been appearing to and gave her messages, and from then I started to read about her story, which was amazing, and fell in love with her as a saint. She's known as a wonder worker and the saint of the end time. So when I got a call from a pro-lifer who has a ham radio and was up all night listening, as always, she's nocturnal, and she called to ask me in the morning if I had heard about a baby that had been left in a toilet in Ruby Tuesdays in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, and I said no, I hadn't. So I went to my computer and I found there was a clip of the first responders going into the Ruby Tuesdays. And so I called the medical examiner and asked, at that time I was sure she was Baby Doe. So I asked the medical examiner if I could give Good Samaritan offer for Baby Doe that had just been brought in, and he was rather aggressive and rude. But he did say, to his credit, that I could that I could find out the detective who had the case, because they were worried that the woman who had delivered the baby in the toilet had left and that she might bleed to death or be sick. So anyway, I was through many calls. I was able to get in touch with a wonderful detective who said to me, well, you know, it's still under investigation, so I can't tell you anything. But I said, well, I don't know of any killing center in Upper Marlboro. And he said, no, it was in Washington, D.C. And I said, oh, Caesar San Angelo. And he said, well, how did you know? And I said, well, that's my business.
And he's the only one.
And so anyway, the long and short of it is that I got in touch with Jack and told him about my plan, and then COVID hit. In the meantime, Jack and I had looked at the Cathedral of Mary, our Mother, and made some plans, but it didn't go anywhere because COVID shut us down. And God obviously had a better plan, because lo and behold, we were able to get Father Meeks, who said we could have the funeral here, and I won't mention anything. In any event, the big thing was to get her remains, and all the mortuaries, not mortuaries, but mortuaries, all of the funeral homes they were fearful of getting sued, so they wouldn't go and retrieve her remains. And I was fearful that after a certain amount of time, they would just cremate her remains. So, but as God would have it, it did happen. We were able, I signed legal papers so that if anybody got sued, I would be the one. And I said, you know, can't get blood out of a stone, so that's fine. So in any event, I became her legal claimant, and that was when Jack came back into the picture, and he had this wonderful contact that he sent down. They had a funeral home, and they went down and got the remains of Philomena. In the meantime, I actually back up a little bit. I had named her Philomena because of my devotion to Philomena, and then Grace, who was a whistleblower who really helped me a lot in tracking down some other abortionists. So in any event, I knew that the baby's name was Philomena Grace, and that Saint Philomena would bring this all together, and as she has. We were able to have a wonderful, wonderful funeral mass for her, which we had the honor of having Bishop Coffey there, as we have the honor of having here today. And so a lot of the credit goes to Jack, because he was able to have the funeral director, who he knew personally, and as long as I was legally liable, then everything was copacetic. So anyway, it's a wonderful story, and the fact that so many people are here and understand that every time we dignify a life, an aborted baby, the closer we come to having abortion unthinkable. And there's one thing I want to say that is quite miraculous. I go to Our Lady of Victory for Mass almost every day. And around the corner is where the abortionist, Caesar San Angelo, lives. And so I always say at the petitions, you know, for the end of legalized child killing and for the conversion of Caesar San Angelo, late-term abortionist, around the corner, a block and a half away from Our Lady of Victory. And Emilazia and Adriana are here. They are two beautiful women. Are they here right now? All right, ladies, do you want to tell it or do you want me to tell? They told me something miraculous today, which I want to share with all of you, because the gentleman has been a hardened abortionist for 35 years. Bishop Coffey mentioned about the 9 rescuers, and he did a very powerful job in his homily, and it's the best I've ever heard. And but these two beautiful women go down to where he kills these babies, and they are so gentle and so loving, and they're so prayerful, and they go into the building and they talk to the people in the building, and they bring the awareness up that this is happening, and they pray. And I hope I'm quoting you correctly, because what I heard them say before Mass was that Caesar San Angelo, actually, when they say we're praying for you, he said to them, pray for me. Is that correct? Pray for me. And every single day at Mass, Bishop Coffey prays for Caesar San Angelo by name. And all of us can do exactly the same thing. God hears every prayer, and he answers every prayer. And it appears to me we have a conversion. We might be having a Bernard Nathanson in our midst.
Amen.
Is that not beautiful? Yes. So God bless these women, and God bless all of you who came out and who pray. And so anyway, is there anything else, John?
I just wanted to mention